Hello, today we are continuing to create a curriculum from scratch. We've already taken a look at our standards, we've clumped them up, and now we're getting ready to start with the unit. Let's get started. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and look in the description. You're going to find some resources. You're at least going to find your curriculum planner part 2. Now within it, we have already figured out our clumps. We're grouping our standards together. Now we're going to name our unit, and this can be anything. It could be a basic thing like research, or maybe you want to be more specific. Maybe you know you're going to get into anatomy here. Maybe you know you're going to get into integers here. It just depends on what you're going with. Now under description, that can be as specific or as general as you need it to be. For all of these, this is just a first run through. We're going to go through them again after and make sure it's complete. For now, you're going to get your ideas down. So description, put a general idea. Now from these should come from those clumps we've already created. If you haven't created those, check out part 1. But if you haven't done that, you can still keep going with us. For standards, you're going to want to put down all the standards you wish to cover with this unit. Now remember, if you just have one standard, make sure it's a complex one. Or maybe this is just a short unit. If you have a lot of standards, you might want to consider splitting this into multiple units. Next, we're going to look at learning targets, and that's what students should have learned after this unit. Now, these should be taken from your standards. You could copy and paste these standards and create learning targets from those. That's how I like to do it. It ensures that you have standard-based learning targets. From there, you're going to create success criteria. Again, I'm going to copy my learning targets and paste them under success criteria and change them up. Success criteria is how they're going to show that they've achieved those learning targets. So it might reference an assignment that they're doing. It's going to reference how they can do that assignment well. So next we have procedure. This is going to be a general idea of what you're going to do. If you're not sure about the whole process, put down your ideas, your basic ideas on there. Assessments, though, that should be our final outcome. And that should be driven by our learning targets, our success criteria. And if it is a research project, what standards are you focusing on? If it's a test, what standards do you want to make sure that they have mastered at that point? Now, you don't have to have all the specifics for this yet. This is just the general planning stage. You can be as specific or general as you need to at this point. Eventually, when you create these documents, you are going to have to be specific, but again, this is the planning stage. Finally, we have resources and materials. For this, you're going to look at what is needed to complete this unit. You're going to want to include assignments, textbooks, novels, articles, videos, anything you think that might be needed to complete this unit. Not only for those that will do this unit after you, or those that may review it, but it will also help yourself. By having them all in place, it'll be easy to access later when you're actually teaching it. If you're happy with the way this unit looks, you're going to create units for the rest of your clumps. Remember, you can combine them, you can split them up, whatever you have to do as you go along. This is just a draft, but make sure you are covering all the standards you need to. Our step 4 is curriculum overview and pacing. Now at this point, we have all of our units done, and we're going to figure out what order we should study them in. You want to think about which one are going to build on each other. Maybe some have to go next to each other, but others, maybe they could go at various parts of the year. You'll probably have one unit that's going to be good to start out with, and a lot of times I want to make sure that's an engaging one to hook kids right at the beginning of the school year. You'll also notice there's a spot for length. Now that's just a general idea. You could put that in weeks, you could put that when, like months, but whatever works for you. We have a notes area there as well. There you can put anything you're going to want to remember as you go. Maybe specific assignments, maybe ongoing assignments, maybe projects, whatever you think you need on there. It's just there to help you. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of how to create a curriculum from scratch. Be on the lookout for part 3. Comment below about what unit was the hardest for you or what unit you like best. Make sure to like the video if you found this helpful, and happy teaching.